Okay, so while I wait for the sight glass for the brake reservoir to arrive, so that I can install that, and then flush the brakes and top them up again, brake and top it up again, I decided to tackle some of the cosmetics on it. And right away, the first thing I did was on the brake lines themselves. This is a Russell brake line, stainless steel braided brake line, but it had surface rust on the outside of the fitting here and on the down at the caliper. It was actually quite a bit worse down at the caliper. So what I did while I had everything off was I cleaned up the rust on that. And the way I tackled that was I used some fine, very fine steel wool. So just went to, well, in this case, Canadian Tire, but any hardware store where the paint section is, and you buy some steel wool. They use it for like refinishing wood. And they buy yourself the 4-0, the finest steel wool there is. It's really fine. And it works great on chrome that's got just surface rust on it and some light pitting. So you can see here, and I'll just give us some light. You can see here that it took all the pitting that was on there is gone. What I did was I also did the front fender. Now somebody had taken some steel wool to it, or some polish, and there were already scratches on it. So there was no way I was going to get those scratches out with it, but there were fine pits of rust on it. Get into focus, here we go. And they're all pretty well gone. Oh, I missed one there, so I'll have to get back and get at that one. So I did miss one. But yeah, it's amazing. It works very well. The chrome is quite hard, so the fine steel wool won't scratch it. It won't damage it. But what it does is it really cleans it up, and it gets out those little tiny rust pits. Likewise with the fork stanchions here, I worked at cleaning them up. There's still a few small pits up here, but these are getting smaller and smaller. I've been working them, so they were quite a bit worse than they are now, and they're disappearing slowly. Use the steel wool. You can use it dry on the chrome parts, or it'll work a little bit faster if you put some water there, or some kind of lubricant to lube things up. And when you're doing it, you take the steel wool and you just rub it over it, and you don't have to press hard. Just really light pressure, and it's just go over it, and you'll start to see the difference within like a minute. But if you do it for 2 or 3 minutes, you pretty well take care of things. So this shield here is the next thing I'm going to tackle, and I'm just going to get in a little closer and give you some light here. Probably not some direct light. There's all kinds of surface rust on this bike. It hadn't been cared for properly, and I realized it looks like it was left outside a lot, but they never waxed it. They didn't put any kind of a coating over the chrome to try to protect it against the water and the ravages of the weather. So there's quite a bit of this that I'm going to have to tackle. But the steel wool should pretty well clean up the vast majority of this. Some on the brake pedal, or the brake lever here for the rear brake. You know, bits of rust all over the bike, but it should come up nice. So I'm going to do up this guard here for the exhaust system, and then I'll start you back up and show you how it came out.